Behind every barber chair and salon mirror is a person who has heard requests that would make your jaw drop. People asking scissors to grow hair, blaming barbers for genetics, demanding the laws of physics bend for a $20 trim. Today, we break down the wildest salon complaints in America and the science that proves just how absurd they really are. 1. Let me start with a classic. A woman demanded a full refund because her fresh haircut made her look 10 years younger, and apparently strangers started calling her sweetie at the grocery store. She called it emotional damage. Here's the kicker. A good cut frames your face and softens years off. That's literally the goal most clients beg for. She paid for a miracle, got one, and filed a complaint about it. You truly cannot make some people happy. 2. Picture a guy sitting down, pointing at his shiny bald crown and asking the barber to just spread the remaining hair to cover it. Spread it, like cream cheese on a bagel. The barber had to break the news that scissors relocate hair. They don't clone it. Once a follicle quits, it's gone. No shop has a hidden stash in the back. What would you even say standing behind that chair? 3. 2 reviews, same woman, same stylist, 1 month apart. Review 1. She talked way too much, ruined my relaxation. Review 2. She was cold and silent, made it so awkward. Stylists walk this tightrope every shift, reading body language because mind reading wasn't on the cosmetology exam. They're basically expected to be therapist, comedian, and mute monk simultaneously. Tell me how anyone wins against a target that moves like that. 4. Here's one that defies biology. A bride filed a complaint that her trial updo looked nothing like the photo. That photo? A wig on a foam mannequin head, shot under studio lights with heavy editing. Stylists see this fantasy gap weekly. Real hair has density limits, your own texture and gravity working against it. No pile of bobby pins turns thin baby-fine strands into a thick magazine mane. Pinterest lied, the stylist took the blame. 5. Imagine demanding platinum blonde in a single sitting when your hair is box-dyed jet black, then calling the colorist lazy when she refuses. Drop the lazy theory right now. Lifting dark, previously colored hair too fast literally turns it to mush. It snaps off and slides down the drain. She wanted speed, the colorist wanted to keep hair attached to her scalp. One of those two people actually understood chemistry. 6. A man complained his fresh fade looked totally different in sunlight and demanded a redo. Lighting absolutely changes how hair reads. Any photographer confirms that. But last I checked, the barbershop didn't install the sun 93 million miles away just to sabotage one customer. The cut was razor clean and perfectly even. He essentially wanted the shop to renegotiate the laws of physics. Bold ask for a $20 trim. 7. Salt water and chlorine are color's mortal enemies, and this next client learned it the expensive way. She spent a week swimming in the ocean, watched her fresh highlights fade, then torched the salon in a review. Colorists practically beg you to wear a hat and rinse before you swim. Blaming the salon here is wild. The color held up fine until the Atlantic Ocean personally got involved. Whose fault is that, really? 8. This one's pure comedy. A woman complained her perm made her hair curly and claimed nobody warned her. The service is called a permanent wave. The form she signed had the word curl on it in plain English. Stylists are skilled, but they cannot chemically curl your hair while somehow leaving it bone straight. That's not a service. That's a paradox. She ordered curls and was shocked when curls arrived. 9. A guy wanted a discount because the barber used too much pomade and insisted he should ration his own product. He wanted an itemized invoice broken down by the gram, treating a dime-sized scoop like smuggled gold. Most shops fold that tiny blob into the price. It costs pennies. Can you imagine being the barber, standing there, mentally weighing pomade on an invisible scale to satisfy this man's spreadsheet brain? 10. Now here's a genuine reality check on hair growth. A woman demanded her stylist make her hair grow faster before a reunion just 14 days away. Hair grows at a fixed biological rate, roughly half an inch a month, and no serum or scalp massage meaningfully overrides your genetics. The honest fix is extensions, which she rejected as fake. Your follicles run on their own clock, completely deaf to your social calendar. 11. A man requested a number 2 guard on the sides, got exactly that, then exploded that it was way too short. For the record, a number 2 leaves about a 1/4 inch of hair. The barber executed his precise instruction flawlessly. He simply didn't understand the clipper numbering system, then blamed the professional for obeying the confident order he personally gave. Pro tip, folks, learn the guard numbers before you sit down. 12. Ever heard of complaining that color looks too natural? A woman paid premium money for balayage, then raged that it looked too subtle, and she wanted something obviously expensive. The entire point of balayage is that soft, sun-kissed, did-it-grow-that-way blend. The colorist nailed the brief perfectly. She basically ordered a whisper and got furious she couldn't hear it across the room. The technique worked exactly as designed. 13. A customer was outraged her keratin treatment wore off after 8 months and screamed a scam. Here's the truth nobody told her. Keratin smoothing is built to fade gradually. The standard lifespan runs 3 to 5 months. She got nearly double. That's like raging that your phone finally died after you ignored the charger for a year. Anything chemical you wash down the drain twice a week was never going to be forever. 14. A woman wanted her split ends repaired and reattached, strand by strand, instead of trimmed off. She called cutting them lazy. Cold truth incoming. Once a hair splits, it cannot be glued back together, period. Those serums that claim to seal splits buy you a few washes at best. The only permanent fix is the scissors. A stylist can no more unsplit a hair than she can unscramble your breakfast eggs. 15. This man treated a barbershop like a dating service with a warranty. He demanded a refund because his sharp new cut didn't make women approach him all weekend. No clipper attachment in existence fixes a personality. The fade was clean, the lineup was crisp, and the rest was on him. Charisma isn't a line item on the menu. You can sculpt the hair flawlessly and still not control what happens when he opens his mouth. 16. A customer demanded the salon remove the scent of the shampoo because she didn't want to smell like flowers at the office. That fragrance is a feature people happily pay extra for. The staff even offered a fragrance-free option beforehand, which she declined. So she wanted freshly washed, salon-treated hair that smells like absolutely nothing. That's like asking a bakery for bread with no smell. The aroma comes standard, ma'am. 17. A man left a furious 1-star review, not about his cut, but because the shop didn't have his specific magazine in the waiting area. The haircut? Flawless, 0 complaints. Barbers are there to handle hair, not run a personalized newsstand for every walk-in who strolls through the door. Shops grab whatever periodicals they can. Honestly, who books a barber and then rates them on the coffee table reading material? 18. Length-based pricing got branded discrimination by this next client. She was charged more for coloring her waist-length hair and cried foul. Here's the math she missed. Longer hair eats more product, more foils, and a lot more chair time. It's the identical reason painting a bigger room costs more. Pricing by length isn't bias, it's surface area. More inches equals more bottles of dye, and an extra hour of the colorist's life. 19. A guy demanded the barbershop reimburse his parking ticket because the appointment ran 5 minutes over. And why did it run over? Because he kept changing his mind about the style mid-cut. The shop doesn't own the meters on the street. The delay was entirely self-inflicted, born of pure indecision, and he still expected the barber to cover a city fine. The audacity needed for that move is genuinely impressive. 20. A woman blasted her stylist for pushy sales tactics because the stylist recommended a shampoo for her specific hair type. Recommending the right product is literally part of the job, since the wrong drugstore bottle can undo a $100 treatment in one wash. Nobody forced a single dollar from her hand. A suggestion is not a hostage situation. You're always free to smile and say no thanks and walk right out. 21. Here's a man who blamed his barber for genetics. He wanted compensation because the barber didn't warn him gray hair was coming. As if the man behind the chair controls your DNA and melanin production. Going gray is decided by your age and ancestors, not your last haircut. The barber trims what's there. He doesn't program your pigment. Next, he'll be asking the barber why he's getting taller earlobes. 22. A woman grabbed kitchen scissors, gave herself a haircut, then demanded the salon fix it for free when it came out crooked. The stylist had zero involvement in the original bathroom mirror catastrophe. Correcting a botched home cut usually means going shorter to even everything out, which she also refused. She wanted a free repair on self-inflicted damage. Quick question: who exactly was supposed to be responsible there? 23. A man complained his hot towel shave was too relaxing and he nearly fell asleep, then claimed it wasted his lunch break. That deep, melt-into-the-chair calm is precisely what people pay for in the classic barbershop ritual. He got the premium experience and was mad it worked too well. Imagine complaining a massage was simply too soothing. Some folks will hunt for a problem inside the very thing they paid to enjoy. 24. A customer demanded a discount because the stylist blow-dried her hair too straight when she wanted it left to dry on its own. Here's the thing. Air drying takes hours and frizzes in humidity, which is exactly why the finishing blowout exists. The stylist gave her a polished, salon-finish look as standard. She wanted to leave with wet hair and somehow still call it a complete service. Make that make sense. 25. Closing this batch with a wild one. A man insisted his beard be dyed to match a photo of a celebrity, then raged that he didn't end up looking like the celebrity. The dye matched perfectly, shade for shade. What he actually wanted was a new face, a new jawline, and possibly a new bone structure, none of which come with a beard tint. Color changes hair, not your entire genetic blueprint. Who's signing up to deliver that news? 26. Let's open with a head-scratcher. A woman demanded a refund because her fresh blowout got ruined the moment she stepped outside into the rain. She wanted the salon liable for the weather. A blowout is styled, not laminated. It has zero defense against falling water. Stylists can't bottle a force field. Asking them to weatherproof your hair is like asking the car wash to guarantee your car stays clean through a mud festival. 27. A man booked a buzz cut, the simplest cut in existence, then complained it looked too simple. Sir, you ordered one length all over with a single guard. That's the definition of the cut. There's no secret artistry hiding inside a buzz. That's the entire appeal. He wanted the barber to inject complexity into a style built specifically to have none. You can't sculpt a masterpiece out of a quarter inch. 28. Imagine telling your colorist you want natural-looking red, then storming back in because the red faded fast. Here's the chemistry nobody warns you about. Red molecules are the largest dye pigments, so they wash out faster than any other color. That's just physics in a bottle. Colorists know this and flag it up front. She was mad at the periodic table, not the stylist. Red is gorgeous, but it is high maintenance by nature. 29. A customer left a brutal review because the salon didn't offer her a beverage while she waited. Not the cut, the lack of a complimentary latte. Look, plenty of shops do offer water or coffee as a nice touch, but it's hospitality, not a legal obligation. She got a flawless service and rated it 1 star over a missing drink. Can you imagine the manager reading that review with a straight face? 30. A guy demanded his money back because his haircut didn't photograph well for his dating profile. The cut looked sharp in person, but his phone's front camera flattened it. Here's the reality. Lighting and lens angle make or break a photo, not the barber. He wanted the shop accountable for his selfie skills. A barber controls the scissors, not the megapixels. That's a conversation for the camera, not the chair. 31. A woman insisted her stylist undo a haircut she'd asked for just an hour earlier because she suddenly changed her mind. Undo it. Reattach the hair that's already swept into a pile on the floor. There is no rewind button for a haircut, folks. Once it's cut, time only marches one direction. The stylist gave her precisely what she requested, and now she wanted a literal reversal of physics. Scissors don't run in reverse. 32. This man complained the barbershop was too loud, with clippers buzzing and music playing. It's a barbershop. The buzzing is the actual tool doing the actual job. Expecting silence in a room full of electric clippers is like booking a seat at a concert and demanding they turn the band down. The sound is the workplace. He wanted a spa-quiet experience in a building literally designed around motorized blades. 33. A customer demanded compensation because her gray roots came back too quickly after a color. Here's the part she ignored. Roots grow at the same half-inch per month pace as the rest of your hair, and dyed hair doesn't change that. The color was flawless on day one. She essentially wanted the salon to halt the growth of her own hair. Unless they invented a follicle freeze ray, those roots were always coming back. 34. A man wanted a discount because his barber talked to another customer during his haircut. The horror of basic shop friendliness. Barbershops are social spaces. That banter is half the culture and has been for a century. His cut got full attention the entire time. He simply wanted to be the sole center of the universe for 20 minutes. Some folks treat a haircut like a private royal audience. 35. Picture a woman demanding her extensions look exactly like real hair, while also refusing to pay for quality human hair extensions. She bought the cheapest synthetic option and expected luxury results. Synthetic fibers shine differently, tangle faster, and can't take heat styling. That's the trade-off for the lower price. You get what you pay for, especially with hair. She wanted a champagne result on a soda budget, then blamed the stylist. 36. A man booked an appointment, never showed up, and then left a furious one-star review about the no-show fee he got charged. Here's how that actually works. The slot he booked was time the stylist blocked off and turned other paying clients away to protect. The fee covers the income that vanished the second he ghosted. It's standard policy, posted right when you book. Raging at a no-show fee is like skipping your flight and demanding the empty seat back. 37. Here's a thoroughly modern complaint. A man torched a salon in a review because the payment screen had the nerve to suggest a tip. Here's what most folks don't realize. A huge share of stylists either rent their chair outright or work on straight commission, so that tip isn't a bonus. It's a real chunk of how they cover rent. Nobody forced his finger onto a button. He could have tapped the no-tip option and walked out free. Instead, he chose outrage over a polite little screen. 38. This next one redefines entitlement. A man demanded a refund because the barber didn't compliment his appearance during the cut. He wanted free emotional validation bundled with the trim. Barbers are skilled professionals, not your personal hype team on payroll. The cut was excellent. The service was polite. He just wanted to be told he was handsome and rated the shop poorly when the affirmations didn't flow. Yikes. 39. A customer demanded the salon dye her hair while she was actively pregnant and refused the patch test, then complained when the stylist hesitated. Here's why that hesitation matters. Many salons follow safety protocols around chemical services and sensitive situations, and a patch test prevents serious allergic reactions. The stylist was protecting her, not stalling. Getting angry at someone for caution is like yelling at a lifeguard for telling you the water's deep. 40. A man complained his cowlick came back after the barber styled it flat. A cowlick is a spiral growth pattern rooted in your scalp. It's structural, not a styling choice. Product can tame it for a few hours, but it always wins by evening. The barber isn't failing, he's fighting your own genetics. Some battles are unwinnable, and the cowlick has been undefeated since the day you were born. 41. Imagine demanding a refund because your haircut made you look like your dad. Genetics handed you that face and that hairline, the barber just trimmed around them. A cut can flatter or update your look, but it cannot override the family resemblance stamped into your DNA. He wanted scissors to perform plastic surgery. If looking like your father is the complaint, the barbershop is the wrong department entirely. 42. A woman insisted the salon guarantee her toddler would sit still for a haircut, then demanded money back when the kid squirmed. No stylist alive controls a 2-year-old's nervous system. They're experts with hair, not certified toddler hypnotists. A wiggly child mid-cut is a universal challenge every parent knows. Expecting a guarantee of stillness from a toddler is like guaranteeing the weather a month out. Good luck with that. 43. A guy wanted compensation because his fresh haircut itched for a day afterward. Tiny cut hairs landing on your neck and skin cause that classic post-cut itch. It's completely normal and fades fast. A quick shower fixes it entirely. He treated a minor universal sensation like a medical injury. By that logic, he should also be suing his sweater for being a little scratchy. The itch is just physics, not negligence. 44. A customer demanded her stylist match a hair color from a screenshot, except the photo had a heavy orange filter slapped over it. Screen filters wildly distort actual color. What looked copper on her phone was a normal brown in reality. Colorists chase the real shade, not the Instagram fantasy. She wanted a filter recreated in the physical world. No dye on the shelf comes in the color phone screen. 45. This man complained the barbershop ran out of his favorite chair. He had a preferred seat and threw a fit when another customer was already in it. The cut is identical regardless of which chair you sit in. Shops aren't theaters with assigned seating. He wanted a reserved throne in a first-come walk-in business. Some people build entire rituals around the strangest details and then melt down when reality won't cooperate. 46. A woman demanded a refund because her balayage didn't match her dog's fur, which she'd brought a photo of as inspiration. Yes, the dog. Stylists genuinely field requests like this. Matching a specific golden retriever coat is wildly specific, and dog fur reflects light completely differently than human hair. The colorist got close, but the client wanted a literal canine clone on her head. Honestly, where do you even begin? 47. A guy complained his beard trim wasn't symmetrical, but his actual jaw isn't symmetrical. Almost nobody's is. Human faces are naturally uneven, and a skilled barber trims to balance that asymmetry, not ignore it. He measured both sides with a ruler at home and blamed the barber for biology. You can groom the beard perfectly, and the face underneath still does its own crooked thing. We're all a little lopsided. 48. A customer demanded the salon refund her because her perm didn't last forever, despite the word permanent. Here's the twist nobody mentions. A permanent wave is permanent only for the hair that's currently treated, but your hair keeps growing in straight from the roots. So you get curly ends and straight new growth. That's not a defect, it's how it always works. The name is honestly a little misleading, I'll give her that. 49. A man left a furious review because the barber didn't remember his name on a second visit, 6 months apart. Barbers see dozens of faces every single day, hundreds a month. Expecting one to recall your name after half a year is a tall order for anyone without a photographic memory. The cut was great both times. He just wanted to feel famous. Be honest, do you remember everyone you met in January? 50. Picture demanding your stylist make thin hair thick without extensions, supplements, or time. Hair density is largely determined by genetics and the number of follicles you were born with. A great cut can fake volume with layers and styling, but it can't manufacture strands you don't have. She wanted a biological upgrade from a pair of scissors. The stylist works miracles with what's there, not with what nature skipped. 51. A guy complained his haircut cost more than last time at a different shop entirely. Comparing two separate businesses with different rents, skill levels, and locations is like complaining a steakhouse charges more than a drive-thru. Pricing reflects experience, overhead, and quality. The cut he got was excellent and fairly priced for that shop. He wanted bargain rates with premium results, the eternal dream that math refuses to allow. 52. A woman demanded a full refund after the stylist stopped mid-appointment because she discovered head lice in the woman's hair. The client was livid about being embarrassed. Here's the reality. Salons are legally and ethically required to halt service the instant lice show up to protect every other client and every tool in that building. The stylist wasn't judging her. She was following health code. That pause saved the entire shop from an outbreak. 53. This man complained his barber breathed too loud during the cut. We've officially reached the bottom of the complaint barrel. The barber is standing inches from your head, working carefully. Of course, you'll hear him breathing. He's a human, not a silent robot. The cut was flawless. He rated it poorly over the sound of a man simply being alive and respiring. What's the alternative? A barber who doesn't breathe. 54. A customer demanded a discount because her stylist used a different brand of color than the one she Googled the night before. Colorists choose professional-grade products based on your specific hair, not on a random search result. Many brands deliver the same shade. The chemistry is what matters. She trusted a search engine over a licensed expert who'd done this for a decade. Dr. Google strikes the salon once again. 55. A woman demanded the salon pay for her ruined pillowcase after fresh red dye bled onto it overnight. Here's the part she conveniently skipped. Colorists specifically warn that bold shades, red especially, can transfer for the first several washes, which is exactly why they tell you to sleep on an old pillowcase. She was warned, she ignored it, and she slept on her crisp white linens anyway. The fabric paid the price for not listening. 56. A woman demanded the salon stay open 2 hours past closing because she ran late for her own appointment. Staff have lives, families, and labor laws around their shifts. Showing up 90 minutes late and expecting the whole team to absorb it is a special kind of self-importance. They squeezed her in another day, which somehow wasn't enough. Her tardiness, somehow, became the salon's emergency to solve. 57. A guy complained his fade grew out after 3 weeks and called it poor workmanship. A fade is the highest maintenance cut there is, precisely because the crisp blend blurs as hair grows, usually within 2 to 3 weeks. That's why fade guys book so often. Blaming the barber for hair growth is like blaming the chef, because you got hungry again the next day. The cut was perfect. Biology just kept going. 58. A customer demanded a refund because her wedding day updo didn't survive 8 hours of dancing, sweating, and hugging. An updo holds beautifully, but it's pins and product, not industrial scaffolding. Stylists build them strong, yet a full day of motion tests any style. She wanted a hairstyle with the structural integrity of a steel bridge. Even the best updo eventually surrenders to gravity, a packed dance floor, and a few hundred hugs. 59. A man insisted the barber guarantee his receding hairline wouldn't recede further. A barber styles and cuts. He has zero control over the hormonal and genetic process driving male pattern baldness. That's a dermatologist's territory, not a barbershop's. He wanted a written warranty against his own DNA. Asking your barber to stop a receding hairline is like asking your hairdresser to stop you from aging. Noble goal, wrong professional. 60. A woman marched in clutching a cheap drugstore box dye and demanded the stylist apply it, then blamed the salon when it came out brassy and uneven. Most reputable colorists won't even touch outside box color, because they can't predict how those one-size-fits-all chemicals react with your specific hair history. She wanted professional results from amateur product, with the salon taking the fall. That's like bringing raw chicken to a restaurant and reviewing the kitchen. 61. This guy demanded compensation because his barber sneezed once during the appointment. Once, the man covered his face, stepped away, and continued. People sneeze. It's an involuntary reflex no human can fully suppress. The cut was clean and uninterrupted otherwise. Rating a business poorly over a single sneeze is the kind of energy that makes you wonder how someone navigates a normal day in the actual world. 62. A customer demanded the salon dye her hair a color that, in her words, doesn't exist yet. She wanted a shade no one had invented. Colorists work with real pigments and real chemistry, not imagination. They offered the closest stunning option, which she rejected for being too real. She essentially wanted the salon to discover a new color on the spot. Maybe check back when science catches up to her vision. 63. A man who's almost completely bald demanded a discount because his haircut used barely any hair. In his mind, less hair should mean a smaller bill. But you're not paying by the strand, you're paying for the barber's time, skill, and a clean lineup, which takes just as much precision on thinning hair as a full head. The price is for the craft, not the quantity. Charging by the hair would put every barber on the planet out of business. Salon. 64. A woman demanded a refund because the stylist didn't fix her hair while she was sleeping during a long color processing time. She dozed off and apparently expected magic while unconscious. Processing time requires the color to simply sit and develop. There's nothing to do but wait. The stylist let her rest, which most clients love. She wanted productivity during a nap. Even the best stylist can't style hair you're lying on. 65. A guy complained the barbershop didn't have parking right out front in a packed downtown area. The shop doesn't control city zoning or the location of public parking. They rent a storefront, not the street. He gave a 1-star review over a problem that exists for every business on that entire block. Blaming a barbershop for downtown parking is like blaming a restaurant because the highway had traffic. 66. A customer demanded her highlights be redone because they looked different wet versus dry. All hair looks darker and different when wet, that's universal. Water changes how light hits every strand. Colorists judge the final look on dry hair for exactly this reason. She caught a glimpse mid-rinse and panicked. The dry result was gorgeous. She basically complained that water makes hair wet, which, last I checked, is its job. 67. A woman accused her stylist of hacking off way more than asked the second her hair dried at home. Here's the science she completely missed. Wet hair stretches longer under the weight of the water, then springs up shorter as it dries, and curly hair can shrink by nearly half. The stylist cut precisely to the requested length while it was wet. Physics did the rest on the drive home. Ever notice your hair looks shorter after a shower dries? Same exact thing. 68. A woman demanded a discount because her appointment started exactly on time, and she'd hoped to chat in the waiting room longer. Read that twice. She was upset the salon was punctual. Most clients rage about delays. This one wanted one. The team ran a tight professional schedule, which she somehow turned into a grievance. You absolutely cannot please everyone, and this review is the gold medal proof of that timeless truth. 69. Closing this lineup with a legend. A man demanded a full refund because his haircut was perfect, and he was now worried he'd set unrealistic expectations for future visits. He filed a complaint because the work was too good. The barber, presumably, read it 3 times to make sure it was real. Sometimes the human brain finds a way to manufacture a problem out of pure, flawless success. And on that note, we're done. So here's what I really want to know. Have you ever been the difficult client without realizing it? Be honest in the comments. Confess the one petty thing you've secretly complained about at a salon. I'm reading every single one, and the boldest confession gets pinned. If a stylist's patience earned your respect today, drop a like and subscribe for more.